On this episode of the Red and Gold Report, we are having some fun looking back at the past 5 drafts for our Chiefs and giving them each a grade. NFL commentator Andrew Brandt recently tweeted out this after the draft this past weekend. He said the only correct, although boring, answer to how your team did in the 2022 NFL draft, check back in 2025, which is true, of course. I mean, I love the draft, and it's so fun after the draft to give every single pick and every single draft class for every single team an immediate grade. But we all know it's kind of meaningless. You really only know how your team did in a draft after the players actually step onto the field, right? So let's do it. Let's revisit the ghosts of draft weeks past. Let's look back at the past 5 drafts for the Chiefs and have some fun diving into each one of them, kind of going down memory lane, grading every single draft class for our favorite team. So, first up is the Chiefs 2021 draft. And wow, did they absolutely crush the draft a year ago? Seriously, the Chiefs traded away their first round draft pick in 2021 for starting left tackle Orlando Brown, which was a great move. It was even a better move if we can ever get him signed to an extension, right? That left the team not picking until late in the second round, but apparently that did not matter because, wow, they got first round talent. With that pick, they selected linebacker Nick Bolton out of Missouri. How did the pick go? Well, Bolton not only led the team in tackles, he had 32 more tackles than anybody else on the Chiefs last year. He also led the team with 11 tackles for loss. Bolton was awarded with a spot on the Pro Football Writers of America All-Rookie team, and he won the Mac Lee Hill Rookie of the Year award for our Chiefs. He is a tough team leader with great diagnostic and tackling skills. Then the Chiefs came back again in the second round to nab center Creed Humphrey from Oklahoma. Now, Humphrey could not have had a better rookie season. Seriously. He was not only the best rookie center in the NFL, oh no, he was the best center in the NFL, period. Nobody was better than him at the center position in the league last season. After achieving a PFF grade of 91.4 and allowing an unbelievably low pressure rate of 1.3% and only 1 sack all season, Humphrey didn't just make the all-rookie team. No. He made the first team PFF All-Pro team. The team's next pick was in the fourth round when they selected Florida State defensive end Joshua Kaindoh. Now, I got to say, Kaindoh was totally lost in the preseason. However, in really limited snaps during the regular season, I did see him progress. I really saw a lot of progression, and he has a ton of potential, a huge frame, great athlete. He could be a contributor still this upcoming year. The Chiefs took tight end Noah in the fifth round. I know he seemed kind of silent on the year, only 7 catches, but hey, you got 569 snaps in the first year of a fifth round rookie's career. That's not bad. And they also took Cornell Powell, a wide receiver, in the fifth round. He was the only miss of the class. And then in the ultimate value pick of this draft, the Chiefs chose guard Trey Smith out of Tennessee in the sixth round. I actually think this was the best value pick in the entire NFL draft. Smith had a second round grade, but he fell with medical concerns. And every team in the NFL is now wishing that they would have taken him in the first or second round, right? Trey is a bruising, powerful, angry blocker who is an immediate starter at right guard. He graded as the best rookie guard in the entire NFL. Yeah, even better than the first rounder, right? For the Jets. And he received the 10th best run blocking grade of any guard, even amongst the veterans in the NFL from PFF. He allowed only 4 sacks for the entire season while playing every single snap for the Chiefs offense. This dude is an absolute beast. So yeah, immediate draft grades on draft weekend, they don't matter. But this draft grade does matter because there's no guessing left. We've already gotten to see these guys perform. It's an A+ for sure. You know, in one of my last videos, I was talking about how the scouting community believes a draft is a real success if you get 3 starters out of it. Well, the Chiefs, they didn't just get 3 starters. No, they got 3 Pro Bowlers out of this 2021 draft. They also got a trade for another Pro Bowler and two more guys for depth. So the 2021 draft grade is a resounding, unquestionable A plus. And hey, real quick, if you want Chiefs insights and news brought to you on the interwebs, then make sure you subscribe to the Red and Gold Report on YouTube. Hit that little notification bell thing. You know, it's been a real blast for me to get to make all of this draft content, Chiefs content over the last week, and I'm really thankful for the awesome response from everybody on YouTube. So seriously, thank you so much for watching. Moving on to the 2020 draft class, the Chiefs were fresh off a Super Bowl victory when they selected LSU running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the first round. Now, Clyde has been a polarizing pick over the last couple years for Chiefs fans. Some Chiefs fans would say, hey, you know what? He was a favorite of Mahomes coming out of the draft, so the pick helped the organization cozy up to Mahomes enough that he signed an extension just a couple months later after the team did pick Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Clyde is still listed as a starter. And maybe if you see it this way, you'd say he's been kind of too hurt to evaluate, and you would see it as a good pick. But other fans would say that drafting a first round running back only for him to be 45th in rushing yards and 43rd in PFF grade, well, that just means the pick was a bust. But hey, let me know which side of that argument that you are on in the comments below. Do you think that Clyde was still a good pick, or do you think that he has been a bust? The team then selected linebacker Willie Gay in the second round out of Mississippi State. In his second year, the ultra-athletic linebacker showed his speed and his coverage ability. He's a quality starter, and he has a ton of potential left to tap. And you know, really, the fact that he's a quality starter was evidenced by how much the defense suffered without him in the lineup for some of those first games early last year. In the third round, the team took Lucas Niang, tackle out of TCU. Now, Niang took his rookie season off with the pandemic, and then in his second year, last year, he had some ups and downs as a pass blocker, but he did play well in the run game, particularly for a first-year player, and he did start 9 games. In the fourth round, the Chiefs selected corner L'Jarius Sneed out of Louisiana Tech. Sneed is a fast, physical corner who has already started 21 games for our Chiefs. Can you believe that? Last year, Sneed led the Chiefs defensive backs with 76 tackles. He was excellent in coverage his first year, kind of took a step back his second, but he was amazing in the run support last year. I expect him to be our starting slot corner this upcoming season and play very well there. I think it's a good fit for him if the coaches get him in that slot position this upcoming season. In the fifth round, the Chiefs took defensive end Mike Dana, who has developed into a quality backup, who had 3 sacks last season. In the seventh round, the team drafted corner Bo Peep Keys, who's now with the Bears. So this draft could be polarizing for Chiefs fans. It really depends all on how you evaluate Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Which side of the argument are you on there? But even though he's been disappointing, here's the thing. 4 of these players in this draft class started games last season for the Chiefs. And it's easy to see the athleticism of Willie Gay and L'Jarius Sneed and see that developing in the future into what could be 2 Pro Bowl caliber players. So even with the polarizing first round pick, I'm still giving the Chiefs 2020 draft grade a B+. You got some starters out of it. You got 3 or 4 starters out of that draft class. So let's move on to the 2019 draft. The Chiefs were without a first rounder after trading away for Frank Clark. Now, Clark played well in the 2019 playoffs, and he did really help the team win the Super Bowl in 2020. However, he has had massive issues both on and off the field outside of that Super Bowl run. The Chiefs' first pick in the draft then was when they took wide receiver Mecole Hardman out of Georgia. Okay, so you got to tell me what grade you would give the pick of Hardman in that year in the second round. Because on one hand, Mecole Hardman is one of the fastest players in the NFL. He had some great returns with the Chiefs over these last couple of years. He was good on special teams. He has 1,791 receiving yards over his first 3 seasons, which means, hey, he has been a real contributor. That's not a bust of a pick. He has contributed to the team, right? But on the other hand, he's never really been able to grab on and hold on to the second receiver spot. He was taken 9 picks before, I know it hurts my heart, before Seattle's DK Metcalf, who turned into a superstar. And he was also taken in the same round as Metcalf, A.J. Brown, Debo Samuels, all superstars. So it's kind of hard not to wonder what could have been. But let me know your take in the comments below. Do you still like the McCole Hardman pick, or are you like, oh man, we could have had these other guys? Then also in the second round, the Chiefs picked Juan Thornhill out of Virginia. Now, Thornhill started all 16 games of his rookie season. It was a quality rookie year for him. He was looking like he was really going to develop into a special defensive player for us. But then in week 17 of his rookie season, he tore his ACL. He returned to start 8 games in 2020, but it wasn't the same. Last year, the coaches really got down on him. I'm not sure why, because I thought he was underrated. Not excellent, but that he was underrated. And I thought that it just about saved the defense when he finally got to start over Sorensen mid-season. The team then took defensive tackle Kalen Saunders in the third round, who he's a good athlete. He's still a backup on the team, but he never put things together. In the sixth round, the Chiefs picked corner Rashad Fenton. Now, this was an excellent value pick for sure. Look, I know a few of you out there, Chiefs fans, that some of his penalties and boneheaded plays last year, they drove you nuts. But the guy was a sixth round pick, and he's played in 42 games for the Chiefs. He received PFF's 8th best coverage grade for corners last season. So that's fantastic value in the sixth round. The Chiefs also got running back Darwin Thompson that year in the sixth round, who, early on he saw a few games where he contributed, but he never panned out too much. Then they got guard Nick Allegretti in the seventh round. I still don't think a lot of Chiefs fans know about Allegretti. He's one of our backup guards. He's a very solid backup guard, so that's excellent value late in the draft there. It's hard to really grade this draft class because of losing the first rounder with the Frank Clark trade. And there's not a Pro Bowler in the bunch in this class. However, Fenton, Hardman, and Thornhill each did start games last season. So you've got kind of 3 guys who are starting coming out of this draft class. So it's not a bad draft class. So I'm going to give this draft class the 2019 draft class a B-, which brings us to the 2018 draft. Like, what do you even say about the 2018 draft for the Chiefs? The Chiefs were without a first rounder, kind of a theme over last year's. We're without a first rounder due to trading up in the previous year's draft to get Patrick Mahomes. So the first pick for the Chiefs in the 2018 draft was the ill-fated selection of Breeland Speaks, an edge rusher in the second round out of Ole Miss. I know that even just saying the name Breeland Speaks is a trigger for raging some Chiefs fans to this day. But the saving grace of the Breeland Speaks saga is that at least it was over quickly. Speaks was just plain bad and out of shape as a rookie. He was injured and he went to IR right before his second year, but then while on IR, he was suspended under the NFL substance abuse policy and unceremoniously cut before the 2020 season. Defensive tackle Derek Nnadi was then taken in the third round of 2018 draft, the lone bright spot here. Nnadi has been kind of a bit of an up and down player. He actually played well 2 years ago, not as well last year, but hey, he works well as a nose tackle and he has started multiple seasons. He still has potential to tap as a run stopper, so that's a good pick there. Linebacker Dorian O'Daniel went in the third round. Safety Armani Watts went in the fourth round, both of whom were seldom played as backups, and neither one of those 2 sixth-rounders that year made it past year 1 with the team. So I'm going to give the 2018 draft for our Chiefs, let's go with a D. But that might be because I'm too big of a fan to give it an F, which brings us finally to the draft of drafts, the 2017 draft, where the Kansas City Chiefs traded up to draft the Patrick Mahomes with the 10th pick in the first round.
With the 10th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Patrick Mahomes, the second quarterback.
I remember on draft day, the Chiefs got criticized for trading up but not taking Deshaun Watson instead. Oh, wow. Retrospectively, we really dodged a bullet there. And if you don't know what I mean, you can spend the rest of the day Googling Deshaun Watson. I got nothing other than to say this. When you pick the best player in the entire NFL, that draft class gets an A plus. No matter what else happens, right? Like you got Patrick Mahomes in the 2017 class draft. It's gonna get an A plus. We'd also be patting the Chiefs on the back to this day for getting running back Kareem Hunt out of Toledo in the third round in the exact same year. He was excellent to start his career. Except after having a fantastic start, well, it was decimated by off field issues, and he's no longer a Kansas City Chief. So it doesn't really matter that second round Compassion or fourth rounder Chesson were busts. It doesn't really matter that the fifth and sixth rounders barely saw the field. You could have taken me in the second round, and it would still get an A plus. The Chiefs 2017 draft class gets an A plus because they drafted the greatest player in the entire league in Patrick Mahomes. But what do you think? Which of these draft classes between 2017 and 2021 were the best? Which one was the worst? Outside of the Mahomes pick, what was the best pick that the Chiefs made over this span? What do you think the worst pick they made over the span was? Leave me all of that in the comments below. We've been having some great discussions, a lot of fun in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Hit the little notification bell thingy. Thanks for watching, and go Chiefs!